Welcome to the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show. We are at the Denver Art Museum today, and I'm interviewing Florence Muller, the curator. Thank you so much for being on my show today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Please tell me a little bit more about the exhibit that you curated.
The exhibit is on Shockwave, the Japanese designers in the 1980s and 1990s, and it's focused on a moment very important in the history of fashion, which is about this moment when the Japanese designers went to New York, London, and Paris and showed what they had to say among the other designers who were originally more French, Italian, American, and British. It was very, very new. They really they did a shock because it was their style was based on the encounter between the Western way of being dressed and their tradition in the East, and in Japan, and they were mixing these two traditions, and really on the thin line between these two cultures and these two ways of being dressed, they found a new way. Many journalists at that time were writing awful article on them, like saying what it is about, It looks totally destroyed. It has no sense. What they are telling us, they were really lost in front of this.
So I'm going to take the Western design and I'm going to turn it upside down.
Yes, exactly. Oh, literally. In some collection, you really have the feeling that this designer has really, opened the garment, into several pieces, put it down, look at it, and asking, what can I do that has never been done before? They are very influential today, and especially among the young designers. They are really looking at the Japanese designers as masters. Very often they speak about the Japanese school, and during their studies, of course, they are studying what they have done in the 80s and the 90s, and what we are showing in the exhibition.
Is their approach different than Western design?
I think, and especially Issey Miyake, wanted to go back to the roots of the traditional Japanese textile, which is, tradition very rich, and he went to see these textile masters and asked them to eventually renew their way of making textile. And sometimes they were using very traditional textile. Like in the exhibition, we have some garments that are made with hand-dyed fabric. And through all these experiments, they have become really new trendsetters in terms of textile. And now today, in the fashion creation, when you say I have used Japanese textile, everybody is like, oh wow, it should be great. And Issey Miyake was very instrumental into this, and he has invented several new textile. The most famous is the Pleats Please. Oh. We have a whole group in the exhibition.
Wow.
Yes, and we have another experiment that he did, which is shown in a video, which is called APOC, a piece of clothes.
Oh,
it
gosh.
means that you can have a garment in just one piece of clothes that you can cut by yourself. It's a do-it-yourself, and you have all the components of your garment through one piece of clothes.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, the viewers must love that. That's unbelievable. That's so. I'm just so impressed. I really am. Is there a particular piece that you're fond of, and what draws you to it?
I like several things, but I like the thing very experimental, like the bomb dress collection. We have one great example in the exhibition. It's very spectacular. It's really questioning the normal representation of femininity with paddings that are inside the garment and which shows the body in a very monstrous way. And it's very experimental. But on the other On the other hand, I like also things that are more simple, very wearable, and it's one of the great aspects of the Japanese designers. They are able to do things that are really great on the catwalk, but also very easy to wear for everyday fashion.
Bernadine Morris, the New York Times writer, stated that the collection was loose, strong, and stylish.
She mentioned that it was like from a different planet. It's exactly, you know, the feeling the journalists had when they saw the first shows of the design of the Japanese designers. And I remember myself, you know, in the 80s, I was really shocked. And it's why we have this title, you know, Shockwave,
Yeah.
because it was a shock, you know. It was not just because of the shape of the garment, but also the whole aesthetic, you know, the fact that suddenly the models they had no makeup, no hairstyle, they were walking with flat shoes.
Oh my goodness.
You know, and not anymore high
Yes.
heels, you know. And it was a different attitude, a different way of showing, you know, a woman that is not looking like a doll, you know. They really like to work on a garment which is really away from the body, with a lot of space between the fabric and the body. And this feeling, you know, this sensation is really something that you can see a lot in the actual fashion.
What kind of feedback have you received on the exhibit so far?
I think very good feedback. Many people, or, you know, the funny thing is that the young people, they think it's actual. They think it's contemporary, what they see here. And it's, as I already told you, they are very important among the young designers today. And it's why young people think that it's actual, because these ideas are really around today. The exhibition is on view until the 28th of May.
That's not very long.
No.
Oh, viewers only have a few months before you get out here and see this beautiful collection. This is just so wonderful. This is art, and we're just so glad that you brought it with us. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us today about the exhibit?
I think we have done a rotation with several of the silhouettes that are in the exhibition. Then if some visitors have seen already the exhibition, they can go back and discover the new creation that we have put in the exhibition. In the exhibition, there are lots of ideas that are related to the art world, and also to the music, to the dance creation, like Merce Cunningham and what he did with Comme des Garçons. But you have also Kansai Yamamoto with several pieces, and Kansai was really important because he was a designer who created the look of David Bowie in the 70s. And you can see in the exhibition what Kansai did with his own brand while he was the designer of David Bowie. You really should come visit Shockwave, because it's about fashion, but it is showing fashion in a very artistic way, and you can discover how it's important to be free when you are designing a collection, and that you can really reinvent the appearance of the people who will wear your clothes, and also the way they will behave and live with this new styles.
Wonderful to know for people who've already come out and come back out and see it again and enjoy it. It's just so beautiful, and I just appreciate your time today, and thank you for talking to me today on my show about this wonderful exhibit.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for watching the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show here at the Denver Art Museum with Florence Muller, the curator of the Shockwave.